My wife's sister's new rich boyfriend mocked me at dinner. Everyone laughed. My wife told me to stop making the family look bad, so I let them talk. Until he mentioned his job. Then I pulled out my phone and watched their smiles fade. The laughter was what got me first, not the words, not the insult, just the laughter. It rolled across the table like a slow wave, echoing off crystal glasses and polished silver. My wife's sister's new boyfriend had just made a joke about me. Something about men who don't dream big or guys who settle. I can't remember the exact line, only how my wife laughed the loudest. "Come on, don't look so serious," she said, placing her hand over mine. Her nails dug in slightly, an unspoken warning. Don't make a scene, don't make the family look bad. So I smiled, or at least I mimicked one. Across from me, the boyfriend, Ethan, leaned back in his seat, flashing that slick grin that only new money can buy. Perfect teeth, perfect suit, perfect confidence. The kind that doesn't come from success, but from believing the world owes you applause. He kept talking, boasting, deals, cars, private flights. Every sentence a little louder, every laugh a little longer. My wife leaned toward him, eyes shining with admiration she hadn't shown me in years. I stayed quiet. I listened. I let the laughter sink into me like frost into wood. Until he said one thing that froze me completely. "So yeah, it's a great company. We build secure payment systems for banks. Full cybersecurity contracts, government-level encryption, big stuff." My hand stopped midway to the glass. Payment systems, government encryption? That company name, just barely audible through his bragging, was the same one that had tried to poach one of my employees 3 months ago. I glanced at him, then at my wife, and something clicked. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat in the dark, staring at the faint glow of my phone. Her messages were still open. I'd seen them weeks ago, innocent at first, then flirtatious, then hidden under new contact names. She told me they were old college friends. I believed her, because that's what love does. It blinds you with its own comfort. But now I wasn't sure if I was blind or pretending to be. The next morning, while she showered, I checked her phone again. Same name, different number, same tone. "Can't wait to see you again. Dinner was fun." He didn't even notice. That was when I stopped feeling anything at all. No rage, no heartbreak, just precision. I worked in tech, data security, and I had ways of tracing things most people couldn't. A few keystrokes, a few cross-references, and suddenly, Ethan's resume was on my screen. His company wasn't real, not anymore. It was dissolved 6 months ago under investigation for data theft and fraud. A ghost company, the kind built to scam investors and apparently impress naive families over dinner. I didn't tell her right away. I wanted to see how far the lie would stretch. Over the next few days, I watched her change. Colder, distant, defending him when I teased his arrogance, complimenting his ambition, laughing at his jokes on the family group chat. Every laugh was another piece of evidence. Every text was another step closer to the truth. I waited until the next dinner. Same restaurant, same family, same polished lies. He was in full performance mode, talking about overseas clients and next quarter profits. My wife looked at him like he was the future. I let him speak. I nodded at all the right times. Then, when he said, "We just signed a government deal last month," I took out my phone. Everyone turned. I opened a web page, quietly, calmly, then I rotated the screen toward him. His company's name, official record, dissolved due to fraud and pending charges. Silence. You could hear the air leave the room. My wife's smile died first, her sister's next, then his. He stammered something about a misunderstanding, but I wasn't listening anymore. I turned to my wife. She looked at me with wide, frightened eyes, as if seeing me for the first time. You told me not to make the family look bad, I said quietly. So I didn't, until now. Her hand trembled over her wine glass. You don't understand. No, I cut in. I understand perfectly. You were so busy admiring his success, you never noticed it didn't exist. I stood up, every eye on me. Ethan tried to speak again, but his voice cracked under the weight of silence. My wife's sister looked like she wanted to disappear. I left the restaurant without another word. No shouting, no scene, just a clean exit. Outside, the cold air hit my face like clarity. For the first time in months, I could breathe. She called that night, dozens of times. Left messages full of apologies, confusion, denial. I didn't respond. Because I realized something in that moment. Betrayal doesn't destroy you. It just reveals who was never on your side to begin with. Weeks later, I heard Ethan skipped town. My wife moved back in with her parents. I didn't care enough to ask where she went after that. I sold the house, changed my number, and one evening, as I sat in a quiet apartment overlooking the city, I replayed that dinner in my mind. The laughter, the mockery, the silence that followed. It wasn't revenge that satisfied me. It was the truth. Because when people lie, they build fragile worlds. And all it takes is one fact, cold, undeniable truth, to make it all collapse. That's what I gave them. One truth, served cold.